second meeting of the month, and as you know, we have a 3-minute public comment after the meeting. I will do the prayer, and ask Ms. Chastain to do the pledge. I always take up on the solemnly before I pray. It is so much going on in this world today, negative and positive. And it seems like even Mother Nature is angry. It seems like the whole world is angry at someone or something. And it's time that we come together as a country and as a world to realize that it's not about us, it's about the Lord. He's going to make all these things right. But it's chaos everywhere. It's hatred. We got a man killed 8 children on yesterday. There's a lot of evil going on in this world. And it's time we come together and pray for our country, pray for all our leaders. It's time we do that. Let's take a moment of silence. I would thank you. Oh, gracious Father, we come in your presence with thanksgiving. Thanking you, Father, for everything you have done. Realizing that we couldn't have accomplished anything without you, Father. For this cause, I just want to thank you. Father, thank you for Jesus, made everything possible. I also pray for this youth. Give us wisdom, knowledge, understanding. Bless us this parish, and bless our ability. I pray for everyone understanding our we voice. Bless them with the things they need, Father, because you made them on the Bible. I pray for this country. I pray for this state. I pray for this community. I pray for the religious leaders and political leaders as well, Father. I pray for the less fortunate. Look at how much, Father. I pray for their family that lost 8 members on yesterday. Please, for you, look at how much. I pray for continuity. I pray for unity, Father. Because realizing with strength, there's unity. Make us strong, Father. Please just look at how much. I pray for this world. I pray for peace. Just look at how much, Father. And Father, everything that's said and done here, I be mindful. Give you all the honor, praise, and glory. In Jesus' name, then I pray. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Ms. Chastain. Shall we please call the roll?
Mr. Dexter Armstead,
Present.
Mrs. Kristen Chastain, Mr. Michael Cheatham,
Here.
Mr. Kyle Flanagan,
Here.
Mr. Jason McCray, Mr. Keith Mills, Mr. Richard Olivo, Dr. Chrissy O'Quinn, President Lewis Kent.
Present. Okay. Are there any personal, financial, or organizational interests that may influence discussion on this agenda?
No,
Once
but
again.
I would like one moment of personal message. I would like to welcome, I'm going to embarrass him, but we have a very distinguished guest here tonight, Mr. Kelly Ward. 40 to 50 years public service with public safety. He's been all over the state. And I'd like to personally welcome him. I know him. Good man. He's here with the broadband, and he's continued to serve the public. Thank you, Kelly.
Welcome. I need a motion to the agenda with one addition. Solar farm ordinance. Mr. Jeff Wiggins.
So moved.
Any discussion? Present from the audience. And all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All business. Adopting minutes from the April 6, 2026 regular meeting. If someone ready.
Move to accept.
By Mr. Armstead, second by Mr. McCray. Any discussion? Question from the audience. Not all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Okay. Update on internet service for repair. Swift, Louisiana Connect.
These two gentlemen right here work with Swift, and the gentleman right behind him is Mr. Angard. He's with Louisiana Connect. He's with the gumbo project for Louisiana. All right.
State your name, please.
My name's Jason Spangler. I'm with Swift Fiber. I'm project manager of the project here.
I'm Trey Parker. I'm his field supervisor, so I'm in the field every day.
Okay.
So I'm here this evening on account of the ongoing work here in East Feliciana with the Swift Fiber. As you know, we've been working around the parish here, specifically on the state highways and around the towns. That project is near completion with it, so we don't lack a couple of weeks, and we'll be complete with the state roads and towns. With that being said, we do have some additional build that is going to take place in the parish. And a lot of that's wrapped around this new Gumbo 2.0 bead money. And with that, there's some state laws put in place about this Gumbo 2.0. One of them being permitting and communication, having proper things in order there to comply with state law and regulation. With that, I believe there was some letters sent out to the parishes and towns and stuff, and we have to comply by that. With that being said, I believe there was some stipulations to, kind of discrepancies on the permit fees with the parish. I believe the parish was going to charge $1 a foot for using parish right-of-way, which in the new state laws, there's a $1,000 cap on permit fees. So there's a little discrepancy there that we need to discuss or work through here. But other than that, that's kind of what we're doing. We're trying to move forward with the project here in East Feliciana, and trying to work out the permit deal to actually build outside of the state roads and towns into the parish.
That's my next question. Are you gonna do rural areas?
Yes, rural areas. That's what we're trying to get to, and the permit situation is holding us up from being able to build out into the parish. So, something to take into consideration here.
I hadn't received a letter, maybe my field technician have you received any letter, Mr. Williams? Okay.
And have any other comments there about state law, or, how the new Gumbo 2.0 works or whatever? Mr. Benny, got any questions? He's the one that kind of, from the state broadband office, kind of handles and kind of supports all this, so.
Vinny Thangar, I'm the Executive Director for the State Office of Broadband Development and Connectivity. So if you're going to ask me a question about state law, I'm not a lawyer, so I don't want to, that's right. No, so let me just give you all a recap of the opportunities, challenges, but also what is to be expected over the next couple of years for East Feliciana. So when I started 5 years ago, there were almost 9,000 households and small businesses and community anchor institutions in every nook and cranny of this parish that was considered unserved. The first thing we needed to do was to ensure that we had enough federal funds to address the problem for all 9,000 households, and not just 10% of the households, because that's always a problem in Louisiana. That's always a problem around the country where, the size of a problem may be $1, and then what you get from the feds might be 10 cents, what you get from the state might be 5 cents, and then you still have a problem for 85 cents, right? 85% of the people. So the first and foremost was, we needed to ensure that we had all of the federal funds available to make sure that every single location in East Feliciana was served. So that objective has been met. So the money is not the issue. The money is there, money's not the issue. The second is we needed to understand where every single one of these households and small businesses in East Feliciana are. Because when we started 5 years ago, there was no federal map, there was no state map. So The good thing is in the last 5 years, we know every single address in East Feliciana Parish that is considered served with internet and those that are not served with internet. So that's step 2. So we know where everyone is. And then the third is this. We're now in this whole construction phase. We awarded, let me take a step back. There are 3 federal programs that are all doing the same thing, that are effectively incentivizing companies to build to those households and small businesses. The first is a program administered by the Federal Communications Commission. It's called the Rural Digital Opportunities Fund. Our office does not manage that program. And that's money coming from the FCC in Washington, D.C., straight to the internet service provider. In East Feliciana Parish, Swift Fiber has an obligation, a financial obligation, and is being held to account to the federal government in Washington, D.C. to build to 3,000 households in this parish. Okay? So that work has either started construction or is in construction along the right-of-ways in which they have a permit to operate. Again, that's a program we don't administer. The second program that our office does administer is the Gumbo 1.0 program. And we awarded AT&T to build in this parish. And that's to build to 1,500 households. And they're 86% complete. And they should be done by the end of this year, because that's when that program, Gumbo 1.0 ends, is at the end of this year. And what that means is the project has to be complete. We would have done the technical audits. We would have done the compliance. We would have verified the work has actually gotten done. We would have closed out that project and informed U.S. Treasury that that project is complete. And what these guys were mentioning with the next phase is Gumbo 2. And that is going to be, folks, I'm going to tell y'all, that is going to be the most difficult phase. Okay? And it's difficult because, to your point, Louis, it is going to be the most rural locations in East Feliciana Parish. We're talking about the house, and I drove up Plank Road and all that. We're talking about the house that's 5 miles away from their nearest neighbor, 10 miles away from their nearest neighbor. The house that might be 3,000 feet from the main road. Okay. We've awarded Swift and AT&T to build connectivity, all fiber infrastructure, so the best in the world, for the balance of those people that need internet, and that's almost 3,500 households. They've got 4 years to do that work. We've already signed the grant agreements with both the companies, AT&T and Swift. They're actively going through getting their environmental clearance from the feds, while at the same time getting their permits here locally. And a couple of things that are important with this last tranche, this last Gumbo 2. Because a majority of the infrastructure, okay, is buried underground, we need to be over-communicating with y'all. Y'all need to be over-communicating with us. Y'all need to be over-communicating with Swift. And y'all need to over-communicate with AT&T with respect to where, as much as possible, where all this infrastructure, water, sewer, gas, etc., is underground. Because you are going to get hit. I can't promise that you'll never get hit because it's underground infrastructure. You will get hit. Rather than be reactive once a hit occurs, it is really important to be on the front end of this issue. And that's why one of the things that we've put in state law is that 30 days before a Swift or AT&T communicates that they're going to be building in your community, they have to formally let y'all know 30 days in advance that we're the internet service provider, and what you should request of them is a meeting to say, okay, thank you for letting me know where are you actually going to build, what phases, what areas, What do we need to do to get permits and so on and so forth? Are you going to be building everything in 6 months? You might say, hey, let's put the speed brakes and maybe stretch it out, okay? Because your local utility folks will need help in locating this infrastructure. Once all of that work is done, let's say in the next 2.5 years, then what you have effectively gotten for the people in East Feliciana is the best infrastructure because it's fiber. It's going to last the longest, and it's going to be, I would say 90% of it's going to be buried, which means it's going to be the most resilient. You will also know, if you don't know, where a lot of your other underground utility infrastructure is going to be. There is going to be some pain associated with building new infrastructure underground between now and the next couple of years, okay? So let's get on the front end of making sure we communicate and understand what those issues are, understand where the connectivity is, understand where the networks are going to be built. Also make recommendations to the folks at SWIFT. If you think that, hey, the water lines are on one side of the road, it's better now to communicate to SWIFT to say, hey, I think you should build on the other side of the road, okay? But if 3 years or a year from now you say you didn't communicate that and it becomes a problem, then it becomes a financial problem for either the water system, the SWIFT, or what have you. Okay? And then it becomes a bigger issue. Then it becomes not just a broadband issue, but a water issue and all that stuff, okay? So really, all good stuff that's going to happen to the people in East Feliciana. And then my estimate is by end of 28, if not beyond, or if not sooner, we will have knocked out the digital divide. People will have internet. It'll be great infrastructure. It'll be the best infrastructure. It'll be significantly cheaper than what people traditionally pay now for pretty mediocre service in general, right? Because people have been overpaying for mediocre service. You're now going to pay lower, maybe 30, 40% a month lower for far superior infrastructure. Okay. Any questions?
Yeah, like you say, Vic, let's be more proactive and communicate more. That's the key right there. Communication and being proactive.
You have to be, this is what, I'll tell you what happened. So today, for example, I got a call from a water system in Castor, Louisiana, which is in Bienville Parish. And they said, Vineet, some contractor came in and they broke a bunch of water mains. It's going to cost us $60,000. We don't have $60,000. Okay? They're telling me this now, when it could have potentially been avoided 6 months ago.
Exactly, being more proactive. I agree.
Okay. And then it becomes a tug of war. Who's at fault? Who's liable? Some of the companies might say, well, we followed state law. And then the communities will say that's not fair because we don't know where any of this infrastructure is, because it's 40-year-old infrastructure, no one did tracing, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that's why we want to over-communicate as frequently based on what we've learned in the past. But the ISPs, I mean, they're here. The folks from SWIFT didn't have to be here, but they're here because these gentlemen here are your point of contact, right? So you should work with them, then you should work with the folks from AT&T, and we're happy to get you all their contact for AT&T, so you can quickly set up meetings and understand what their schedule, what their timeline is to build, and so on and so forth.
Any questions from the audience? Go ahead.
And all the things that you're telling us right now are things that we have been doing. We met with them, the water district met with them, gas districts met with them, they're busting lines, they're not compensating. We also have a representative from the water district here. They just sent a certified letter for the reimbursement amount. Crickets. We don't hear anything from them.
Okay.
They've been here quite a while. So I don't know what you're coming in here to tell a jury. You're telling the jury, hey, you need to cooperate with us more. We've been cooperating with them. The people that were before them, they changed out 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
You see where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
So if you're trying to tell us, hey, waive the permit fees, say waive the permit fees. Lower the permit fees, the state law requires it. Provide documentation of that. Tell us what you want us to know.
So thank you for that feedback. right? First of all, I'm not telling you what to do because it's not my business to tell y'all what to do in terms of waiving fees or whatnot. The second is really, look, if this is what happens. A water system tells me something is broken. Similar, the folks in Bienville are hearing crickets, okay? So they let me know that this is an issue. I'm gonna take that same information, talk to and say, look, where are you building? They'll give me a specific address. I'll then correspond with the ISP, because remember, our response, and this is the tricky part, the internet service providers, SWIFT, they're accountable to us. Because the contractual grant agreement that we have with the internet service provider, between the state of Louisiana and the internet service provider, is between us and SWIFT. We don't manage the contractors. Now, SWIFT, I mean, if you're not hearing from SWIFT, then that's why, right? I mean, they're here now, right? But I'll tell you, there are 2 or 3 companies, and especially as we get started for Gumbo 2.0, that you're gonna really stay tied to the hip because they're the biggest winners for rural Louisiana. And it's really a company called Connexon, which is not building in East Feliciana, they're mostly north. It's AT&T and SWIFT, okay? So the other thing is this. There are a number of things legislatively that have occurred or will occur to try to help municipalities out, okay? We're building this infrastructure for the first time in communities. I could have very well told the governor, let's build all this infrastructure aerial, pole to pole. What's the problem with building this stuff pole to pole? It goes down a lot.
Yeah.
And then what happens? You're gonna have a room full of people saying, it goes down a lot, why didn't you build this right the first time? Okay, so these are collective growing pains that we're all having that we didn't anticipate. Frankly, this was gonna be the case. And it's not just in Louisiana, but it's in every state, all right? So for Gumbo 2, we're doing things like making sure the community knows 30 days in advance. I think the SWIFT guys, based on my experience, are very easy to work with in terms of responding if they have damaged utilities. Likewise with AT&T. So we're gonna be much more on the front end communicating with folks.
Any questions?
And actually, I had your name on my list to contact you because last week there was a session on Gumbo 2.0.
Permitting, yes, in Baton Rouge. I think, Daryl, we missed you at that. I think we saw you somewhere else. Oh, West Feliciana. That's right.
So we didn't get to attend. We watched from Zoom, and there was a lot of questions. I guess it was kind of hard to follow.
Yeah.
Not being there, so I didn't want to reach out to you.
So what we're doing proactively is we're organizing regional meetings that brings in all of the entities in that community that issues permits. So water systems, anyone that does permitting and or locates. So water systems, gas operators, utilities, et cetera. So we bring them in a room with all the internet service providers that are building in that area. Because the first thing is, most of the water systems, most of the utility providers, they have no idea who's building in their area. And they have no idea who the internet service provider is. So the first is, let's get them in a room to talk about and to get their contact information. And then the second is, we're gonna provide, as an office, through our contractor, HG&A, augmented permitting support to help with a variety of different things, because a lot of local municipalities struggle with processing permits quickly. So we're gonna provide that kind of support, A. The second is what we talked about is implementing a program to start helping with communicating and coordinating with regards to locates, right? And eventually, what the governor wants is a map of where all this utility infrastructure is. That's gonna take some time, but that's the ultimate goal.
Any questions? Please.
I appreciate what you're saying, that our local utilities, have to work with them and everything. But I hope on the flip side of that, you're telling your contractors, for instance, after we had that gas pipe that got broken, they called 811, they chose to take care of digging before the 811 time limit had,
Yeah.
had gone over. And if I'm right, Daryl, when that happened, they left the scene while other people were cleaning it up and went to another site and didn't have a permit. They had
Yeah.
requested it, and they were like a day ahead of the final 811. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that has to be done on your side.
Yeah, I mean, it's really on the side of SWIFT, right? So there are a couple of legislative bills that are being authored currently that helps to create a little bit more accountability for the ISPs and their contractors in 811. So Senator Mark Abraham is authoring a bill. Representative Jason DeWitt is authoring a bill. So I think those bills, if they pass and they go through the legislative process, should create more mechanism for the contractors to be held more accountable. Correct. Correct.
Most of it lack of communication. We need more communication on both parties. We need
Right.
more, yeah.
This is going to be, we've learned a lot in the last couple of years implementing Gumbo 1. I think everyone's learned a lot. Y'all have learned a lot, we've learned a lot, the utilities have learned a lot. And so as we get started for Gumbo 2.0, because a lot of those projects haven't started putting shovels in the ground at all, I think we'll be in a little bit better shape. The last thing is this I'm going to mention. This is a big difference in Gumbo 1 and 2. In Gumbo 1, we actually scored projects from the internet service providers based on, we would give them more points based on how fast they could build. So if Swift said we could build in East Feliciana in 12 months, and AT&T said we could build it in 18 months, we would give more points to Swift. Okay. And then we would sign a contract with Swift that says they would have to build in 12 months. For Gumbo 2, we did not score on how fast you could build. Because what we don't want is the same level of pressure they're being placed on the internet, on your communities, to be placed for Gumbo 2. So now everyone has effectively 4 years to build, which means they have a little bit more time. So,
If there any more questions? If not, Vic, we thank you for coming. We really
appreciate it. Thank you. Any other questions?
it.
Can we each have a card for
Yeah.
Swift
Yes.
or for, so that if you want us to contact,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. More happy.
thank you.
Here's a question.
Please, state your name. State your name. State your name. Come to the mic and state, yes, ma'am, state your name.
Okay, Marshall Kemp, lifetime citizen here. I have a question. Since these people are gonna provide the service, could that service ever be transferred to something like Starling? And the reason I said, I've heard a person who's now running for a new office mention that they thought in the near future it would be turned over to Starling. I have an issue with state dollars, federal dollars, funding a private company like that, just handing it to them after all this work. And I only live 4 miles from Plank Road out here at the corner, and AT&T is terrible. I get 1 bar if I get that. And when can I ever expect to have, you're telling me rural, am I rural, 4 miles outside the city limits?
Great question.
Marshall Kemp.
Okay, Marcia. All right, great. That's a great question. A lot of people in Louisiana are getting connectivity through mobile infrastructure. Okay. There is a big mobile gap in Louisiana. Okay. We are funding T-Mobile to build 50 towers, 50 new 5G towers in areas that don't exist today. I will have to look and see if, I don't have it in my head, if East Feliciana will get some of those towers. One of the things I have proposed to the governor, because we have funds available, or we're trying to unlock from DC, is what I propose to the governor is to use some funds to continue to build mobile infrastructure. Okay, so more cell towers, whether AT&T, Verizon, or T-Mobile, because you want to create resilience as much as possible. Now, with regards to, so I think that's the issue, is you have one bar because it's a mobile issue, mobile coverage issue. In fact, I'm a Verizon customer, and I don't have any cell coverage right now, or one bar. So it's the same thing. So what we're actually funding is wireline service, which means it's the connectivity to the house. It's the fiber optic, or it's some wire that's going straight to your house, so you don't have to rely on a cell tower. It's the hard wire that goes into your house. Let's say someone lives on 123 Main Street in East Feliciana Parish, okay? 123 Main Street, Clinton. And we have federally funded SWIFT to build to 123 Main Street. We're funding the capital expenses for SWIFT to go build to that house. It's up to the resident to want to buy their service. We're not forcing residents to buy the service. What we're trying to do is make it available. And then it's up to the consumer to want it if they want it. Because the biggest problem during the pandemic wasn't people's ability to pay for it. It was people's inability to access it, to get it. So we're going to solve the getting it problem for everyone in Louisiana. Then it's up to the resident to pay for it. Now, if that resident at the end of year one says, you know what, I have fiber optics going to my house, but I want Starlink for whatever reason, I would be shocked, okay, if that's the case. Then we're not going to pay Starlink at all, because that house is already getting SWIFT. That's up to the individual if they want to spend money on Starlink. Okay? But this is the thing with Starlink. Okay? Starlink right now offers a service at $120 a month. These guys offer the service at $60 a month. So ultimately, it's up to the consumer to weigh $120 for satellite service or $60 for fiber. I will leave it up to the consumer. I've got my own personal opinions, but I'm here not to share personal opinions. Yeah. Did I answer your question?
Exactly. What I'm gonna say is that I've had AT&T send 3 different technicians out to tell me to go pole to pole, fixed wireless. The map says I can get it. They come out there and they say, I'm sorry, man, you can't.
Okay, so Marcia, this is what you need to do. Okay, because you may be one of these customers that will get SWIFT. You should email me your home address at connect. So my email is this: connect, CONNECT, @la.gov.
You got a card?
I don't have a card, but because my 2-year-old son likes to play with my cards. So, but if you can email me at connect, CONNECT, @la.gov. Connect, CONNECT, @la.gov. What I would suggest y'all to do is this: connect, so like connect, CONNECT, @la.gov.
Oh, you're spelling it down.
What I would suggest y'all do is, if you have a question about your specific home address or your neighbors, email me. And within minutes or hours, I could get you an answer on what is going on and who's the provider. Because Marcia, it could very well be that, yes, you're unserved, and we funded SWIFT to actually build to your house. And that might take 12 months. So email. I would encourage anyone to email.
One more question, we'll move on. Come to the mic, state your name, please.
Can I just stand here and talk loud so we don't have to go
Well,
through these people?
Yes, ma'am, state your
You
name.
don't have a big mouth.
State your name anyway.
Debbie Kemp.
Okay.
It's my understanding from what you just said that the line that runs parallel to the road, from the road to the house, y'all will be installing that. The resident does not have to pay to have that underground?
Correct.
Okay.
You should not be paying an installation fee for a federally funded broadband program. If you are, you need to let me know so I could yell at that company, because you should not be.
I'm not worried about that, but I know, several people have driveways that are a mile long.
100%.
And that's a lot of stuff that are going to be digging through trenching and whatnot.
Correct, which is gonna pose a different set of problems, okay? Because some residents may not want all that to happen. And then what's gonna happen is this. There might be a reality where that resident says, I don't want anyone to be digging a mile, okay? If that's the case, this is what's gonna have to happen. Swift, are gonna have to inform the resident 2 or 3 or 4 times that you're a federally funded location, this is what we wanna do. And if you keep saying no, 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 which is your right to say no, 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 then we will pull funding for Swift to build to that house, and then it's up to y'all to decide Starlink or whatever. But if once that happens, and then 2 years later you're like, oh, I want that federally funded network, it's too late.
How many people, Marshall County, how many people can be on that line?
Oh, I'm not an engineer, but look, I'll tell you,
Well, we need that kind of information, because rurally, people think there's not a lot of people out in the woods, but there are. So,
Marcia, great question. Look, building fiber infrastructure in East Feliciana is like building a 10-lane concrete road, 5 lanes, leaving Baton Rouge to Clinton, and then 5 lanes leaving Clinton.
and they've got fiber underground in Jasper, Arkansas, on granite limestone. And the reason that AT&T, Demco, let's go to Demco, said, they can't go underground, there's problems with water and lines. Well, in Louisiana, our problem is trees falling on the lines, and in rural
Right.
areas, for weeks.
Right.
We have a lot of experience with that. So I am concerned about the load the number of people they can serve, the households, and we do need a map showing where we are in that
Right, we have a map.
household.
What's the population of East Feliciana?
Roughly 19,000.
If tomorrow, let's just say this, with the fiber infrastructure they're building, if suddenly tomorrow that 19,000 became 100,000, the infrastructure can hold without a single problem. That's fiber. That's fiber.
Okay,
But that's the best infrastructure. But if you're like, well, fiber's too expensive, let's just get everyone Starlink, that's when infrastructure goes down.
Mr. Williams, one more question, Mr. Williams.
All right. A couple things. As a parish, we've been very proactive when it came to this Swift fiber. We've been dealing with Swift for over a year. I would like to request a meeting at least 60 days out before y'all start drilling anything with the water district, gas utility district. I want maps, the whole 9 yards. I'm also concerned about this stuff that's in legislation as far as consequences and different things like that have not been passed yet. Okay, so yet they want to start work in this parish, but yet we can't hold them responsible.
So what we were told tonight has not been passed yet?
No. It's still in legislation, so I want to make sure y'all understand that.
Oh, yes.
So that's just a few of the concerns that we have. Sam, am I on point to?
That's right, that's
Okay.
exactly what we said. I mean, we've been working with them from the beginning.
Absolutely.
And Jeff, you're right about that. We had about a half dozen meetings with them. Anything that they say is worth a grain of salt. We can't believe anything that they have told us so far, and there's no reason to think that anything's changed.
And
We just gonna leave it like that.
well, and obviously our water district, gas district, on a state level highway might be a little bit easier to find. Okay, but when you go down these parish roads, you mark a gravel road. Okay, the next day that mark's going to be gone. Okay, it's just we have a lot of gravel roads in this parish, so that's just something to think about. And those lines are going to be extremely hard to locate.
Mr. Williams,
Your suggestion is 60 days?
At least. Yeah.
and Mr. Williams will be the go-to
Yeah.
point person, okay?
At least. Which we've done this same song and dance over a year ago. So
But Jeff, you will be the point person, okay?
that's fine. But I just want y'all to know that stuff's still in legislation where we can't hold them
Okay.
accountable.
Okay, it's still- okay, thank you, Vic. We're gonna move on with our regular agenda.
Thank you, folks.
Okay. Okay. Harmony Behavior and Health, place that last on the agenda, okay, before we get him on out of here, okay? Okay, next, take action on proposal for right construction. Okay. Back to the regular agenda. Take action on proposal for right construction to haul and burn debris at stage site, not to exceed $100,000. I think we should up that price because we have a lot of excess than we had the last couple of years. So I think we should raise that fee, not to exceed $125,000.
So moved.
Didn't we discuss this last meeting about getting other bids? Did we do that?
Yes.
Yeah.
FRP.
Wait a minute.
No, that's it.
Yeah.
We just looked at trying to get a cheaper price on it, and the problem we running into, hey, we have to get permits through DEQ. We can't just come out and burn debris. Hey, we have a place right there beside it, hey, at 9900 Highway 959. So the hauling, we're not a half a mile to haul it. If we get somebody else in, there's no telling where they're gonna have to haul it to. And you gotta get a permit from DEQ to be able to burn it. Then you gotta dispose of the ash. And it's $6.33 a cubic yard. And what we wanted to do, hey, we have a contract already in place with them that can do it. But last time we had a lot of dirt in the debris, we won't want to get them out there to fluff it and get all that dirt out, so we're not paying for dirt, we're paying just for stuff that'll be burnt. And Chris Hayes, he's the vet that's building the clinic right there at 959 and Plank Road. Hey, I talked with his wife today, and I told her, I said, we're discussing it tonight. I said on that, but there's a whole lot of stuff to go through. And if we had to bid it out, that's 3 weeks that we have to put it in the newspaper to bid it, then put it out. That's 30 days there. Hey, we'll be in hurricane season by then. And nobody could touch it if we get hit by a hurricane.
And we had to find another burn site.
Yeah.
The approved burn site.
Yeah.
And we've been looking for burn sites, we hadn't found one yet. So.
Yeah. I've got one that we're looking at. Hey, Brent is coming back out with series. He's gonna go through it again. If we need to do some more dirt work around it to be able to use it. We're trying to get stuff more in the center of the parish because we get charged mileage. Anything over 10 miles, you start getting charged for it. 10 miles in this parish is nothing to haul it. But,
So you don't think 100 will be enough?
Because we have more, a whole lot more than we had the last couple of years.
yeah.
A whole lot more.
And they're gonna come out and give me a ballpark. We went and measured it to see about what it is, but it's just so odd and all on there. We're gonna have to go back with some tapes and ladders to try and measure it to get the height on it, hey, to get a ballpark estimate on it.
Cause last time we had, not just.
Yeah, we didn't have this much last
This much
time.
last time. You need to run and see the sites right there off of 959. You see how
Yeah.
much debris out there to be buried. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just God.
So we never did get another bid on it.
No, we didn't put it out. Hey, we did the bid process for the RFP. Yamisha and all, they did that. Hey, on it, then we had to rebid it because of the issue with one thing. So we've done this bid process twice already. So,
And I did send an email out to those of you who read your email with an update about it. I spoke with Brent with series, and I also spoke with Mr. Wright with Wright Construction. And there is an agreement in place with the landowners, after the parish and the landowners, is with the landowners.
Now, in the company.
yeah,
Correct.
series.
So if we did, in the email, I think I did explain, if we did even bid it out and go with someone else, it's possible that they would not be able to burn at that site because there is a contract in place between, that the parish is not a part of. So
It's a hurricane season right around the corner. We got debris falling every day before hurricane even come.
They
That
have
tree
picked up some
picked up some debris already. We need to move as a parish. They say gonna be a light hurricane season, but who knows?
Hey, we don't have to have a hurricane, just strong wind.
So what's the pleasure of the jury? Not to exceed 125,000? Any more discussion?
We made that motion.
All in favor? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Next on the agenda, solar farm ordinance. Mr. Jeff Williams.
And I'm sorry, I know you're moving forward, but just to let you all know, I think I told you at the last meeting that we received some reimbursement money in that's going back to solid waste. And I did reach out to our financial advisors about this. The funding just came in, I think, the week of the last meeting. So the funding is there to do this.
In the form we get now, it goes into solid waste. Okay, Mr. Williams.
Ready? In front of y'all is two different solar farm ordinances. I introduced the one that's in bold at the top. I was asked to send to planning and zoning for someone to look over. They sent me back a revised version, which is also in front of you. I'm coming tonight to ask for y'all to recommend it, to send it to planning and zoning so we can set a public hearing on it. This is to adopt a solar farm ordinance. The one in bold is the one that Sam and I went over.
That's the one we approved. to send back.
Correct. The other one is the one that was revised by a planning and zoning member. So I wanted to make
By
sure.
Amen.
I didn't say that. I just, okay.
By a planning.
I'm being transparent, letting y'all, see everything, right? So,
I make the motion that we send it to planning and zoning.
Any more discussion? Question from the audience. You all in favor? And opposed? Motion carried. Thank you, Mr. Williams.
thank you.
Okay, let's move on. Committee staff report. Executive committee, I have one recommendation to appoint Ms. Arlene Culpepper to the East Feliciana Parish Tourist Commission.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Question from the audience. All in favor? And opposed? Motion carried. We have to speak, Ms. Introduce yourself, please. Yeah, I guess you introduce yourself. Don't take but a second.
I'm Arlene Culpepper. I was born and raised in East Feliciana Parish in Clinton. Graduated from Clinton High School. I moved to Lafayette for 33 years and came back here in 2020 to take care of my mom after my dad passed and making it home again. But we have such a great opportunity for tourism here. Probably unlike any other parish in this state. There's 64 parishes and ours has everything that the others have. But we have some homegrown people that are wonderful. We would love to bring people in from the outside, have them spend some money, and we would love to keep things the way they are with the small town feel. And I feel like with the experience that I have as a publicist, as a certified paralegal, and member of many professional media organizations, I can definitely do that. I have a long resume when it comes to volunteer work. I belong to the Clinton's Home Foundation. I'm a board member, a founding board member of the Feliciana Wildflower Project and Festival, and a member of the East Feliciana Alumni Association, and many other things as well. I just think that those three are probably the top ones for this parish. And I do apologize because I have a cold right now, so I can barely speak. But I just, and I appreciate being given the opportunity.
I want to thank you for willing to serve.
That's right.
That's the key, willing to
Most
serve.
definitely.
Thank you.
Most definitely. We have to be willing to do that.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, move on. Personnel Committee, Dr. Chris O'Quinn.
We will be having a meeting next week on Tuesdays. We're just not real sure about the time.
Oh, you with him? Okay, Finance Committee, Mr. Kyle Finley.
I'd like to make a motion to approve monthly invoices.
Second. By Mr. Olmsted. Any discussion? Question from audience. All in favor? And opposed? Motion carried. Public Work and Equipment, Mr. Jason McCray.
I just have one thing. Mr. Hill Is the trash truck down?
Derek Hills, Director of Public Works. Yes, sir, the trash truck is down. Before we sent it to the shop, we posted it on the website and Facebook to let them know that it was gonna be down. They gave us ETA approximately two weeks. I emailed them today. They should give me an update tomorrow after they have their maintenance meeting.
Okay, I'll check back with you.
Okay.
Anything else, Mr. Rep? Anything else?
That'll be all.
Thank you, Mr. Hill.
All right.
The older trucks are down as well.
Yes, sir.
We just running
They
one
need,
now.
sir,
We just running one truck now.
we're not running any truck.
Okay, so the other ones are out, the new one's out. The
Say that
other
again?
The older trucks are out, so the new one is broke down.
All three of them are down.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Hill.
You're welcome.
Okay. Building property, Mr. Dexter Umstead.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. President. I have one quote for the DPW storage building over there, and we're waiting for another one because the roof on it is starting to deteriorate pretty badly. So I'll get with Ms. Yamisha on that. She'll make the presentation of let y'all know. But other than that, I think we talked about last time ending the CA agreement with the town of Clinton with the park. So I think we're going to move. Of course, we're going to move forward with that. What Mr. Foster already said, they didn't have a problem with taking the park back over and maintaining the maintenance over there. That's all I have, Mr. President. And I will be getting with Ms. Yamisha where we can have a meeting. I hadn't got one there yet. I'm supposed to have, but.
Thank you, Mr.
All right.
Umstead.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Next, administrative matters, the treasury report.
I don't have anything. No, Mr. Jeff, do you have anything?
Yep, on the administrative matter, recommendation to advertise for administrative.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. The recommendation to advertise for help in director position. So we all know that's included in the budget.
Yeah.
You approved it with the budget, and I wanted to know if you all would give me permission to go ahead and advertise for that position.
Motion by Ms. Chastain, second by Dr. Quinn. Any discussion?
I had a question. Would this take some of the burden off of you, Ms. Harris, this individual, or would they be underneath your oversight?
The health unit?
Yes, ma'am.
That would be strictly up to the personnel committee. We can discuss that then. I would say, yes, they would need to be under the oversight of someone in this, whether it's myself or a parish manager, yes, but there's also in your packets, a job description, for you to read. So it won't really take much off me. It's, to do more, to offer more at the
Yes, ma'am.
health unit. Things that aren't being done that we can do here in the parish with, the health unit. So that's what we would like
Motion,
to provide.
motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
And opposed? Motion carries. Anything else, Ms. Harris?
That's it. We'll have some stuff whenever Mr. Armstead meets with the Building and Properties Committee. Mr. Jeff, Mr. Jeff will have some things that we'll bring to the, Buildings and Properties Committee, about this building, and, I think that's it.
Okay. Any questions, Ms. Harris? Yep. Homeland Security, Mr. Darrell Bueller.
May 21st, we have a meeting with Jim Richard and them, Series, Volker, on the new rules and all that are coming down for the debris monitoring and removal. So I sent an email out today for some of y'all, and I'm gonna probably just send one to all the police jurymen. I just sent the real quick one before I left and come over here. So if anybody wants to attend it, they can. And they kind of give you all the new rules and everything that we're gonna be going by.
And what about the drill coming up? Practice drill we gonna have?
The drill, Wednesday, yeah, we're ready on it. We got everything ready to go. And the first week of May, we have our LEPA conference in Lake Charles for the Emergency Preparedness Association. And we'll have all our training classes over there on anything new that's coming up through GOSEP. The generator project for the parish, the 25 generators we have that we're putting in the parish. One of them is Frosty's DPW over there, so they'll have power and all on it. I know he'd be happy to have it, because if we're out of power, it gets kind of warm up in that building when you're trying to sleep at night. So we have that. Ballpark around $2.4 million we're looking at. So we met last week with the guy. We went out and went through every place there was. They showed him all the sewer lift stations, the courthouse, the sheriff's office annex. If anyone wants a list, I can give them a list of it. But other than that, hey, we're moving right along with it because he's working on it, and we should have something in a few weeks. Hey, to make sure it's final, then he'll start doing all the paperwork for what size generators we're gonna need and everything else. But some of them are propane, some are natural gas, some are diesel. So we'll be in pretty good shape in the parish after that. That's all I got.
Any questions, Mr. Bueller? I thank you, Darrell. Okay. Commissioning Board for Planning and Zoning, they'll meet next Tuesday, right? Public comment. Yep. Okay, if not, let's go to executive session for no more than 15 minutes.
I make a
To
motion.
discuss home,
You have a motion?
yeah, motion.
I make a motion.
The only public comment is sure it's quiet tonight.
Okay. 7 o'clock.